Lounge back in session.
Yeah.
There's my gabble. Well, Johnson's going to play a song called Castaway, and he's going to explain to you where he got the inspiration to write it.
Well, this one, although maybe not a direct association with money, I thought I'd try and keep in with the theme. And I'd originally wrote it when I was staying in Glasgow a few years ago with my pal Mike, who's the drummer in Corvus, and we'd gone through like this massive drop where we had no money, nothing was happening, we couldn't even afford to practice a lot of the time, and we just felt like things were falling apart. So it just felt like we'd been kind of stranded or marooned or something, and I was trying to think of a theme to write this song with. And although some of it, the chords are quite bright and happy, but the subject matter is quite heavy, as per the rest of my material. But
and you were watching Dan Andriano and Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio, and that was their acoustic in Detroit.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of inspiration came from that. That was one of many of Mike's DVDs that we'd be sitting watching, because we never had TV, so we just watched DVDs all the time. And I mind, I'd never really heard much of Matt Skiba's stuff, but he was really into it, so he influenced a lot of the kind of change in the sound that I had at the time, the way I was writing my songs. And rather than playing a lot of the sort of melancholy fingerstyle stuff that I was doing at the time, I'd kind of upbeated it a little bit and just started experimenting with different brighter sounding chords and things. So this was the end result, but essentially it was about the depressive side of long-term signing on and the kind of effects that it has. And it's in memory of Captain Hook, who is a much loved turtle.
Wait for me, I'm down in the water, beneath these waves of fear. So tell me a lie to impress me, drag me far from here. Undertow, you catch me when I fall, 'cause no one ever showed me how to swim. Move the world, whoever direction the ocean pulls me in. Have you seen my eye? It's suffering this too. Have you seen the hand? cast away from here, far from the shoreline, year after year. And I'm not here.
It's the slightly shorter version.
Yeah, I thought it was that song that usually tricks me into clapping and then you just go on.
Yeah,
It is, but you
there is-
decided to stop.
there is some extra bits, but I'll not play them just now.
Messing me about constantly, aren't you?
I was just checking you're paying attention.
Good one. So, Will Johnson, whose songs are always poignant and sensual and emotive and heartfelt, and all leading up to what you'll hear at the end of the show, his finale, a more fun song than you would usually write.
It's the happy song.
It's
As some people are going to remember it as, there's this sort of depressive trolch through the mud, and then eventually it came out with this nice shiny one at the end that's really bright and happy. But again, it's got a very dark subject matter,
Yeah.
like everything else.
And the subject matter is money. In the meantime, the Dive Lounge is now officially in session. I need to get a gavel, is that what you call them?
Yeah.
The judge's hammer, to signify the beginning and end of every Dive Lounge session. So, what are you playing for as well?
This one's called Shine Like Gold, trying to keep in with the money theme, although really it's about deeper feelings than that, but
It's close enough.
yeah.
Well, take it
It's
away.
all in the name. This one's for Meekan.
See her smile, arms around me, feel her warmth shine around me. Do you want love? If you want to, you can call anytime you feel lonely or happy just want to. Well, I can't find the words to tell her. Scared to say how I feel 'cause you don't know that I was waiting for your love. Make me crazy. I feel like running, yeah. Run away with you. I feel I'm falling, yeah. Falling doing right, pushing for a better life, running from the end of the drive. Only wanna share my time.
Invaded by dogs.
Your singing, your song was so good, attracted the attention of some dogs. It's a shame.
Oh, Darcy.
It's a shame they're not howling like Seamus. Shame they're not Seamus.
Seamus, that's the dog was outside.
Heard the dogs out.
We have actually genuinely been invaded by a couple of dogs in the studio. You must have enjoyed that.
You come to hear Will play. Exceptionally talented, as always, Mr. Will Johnson. And he'll be playing a few more songs in my dive lounge in a bit. Messing me about constantly, aren't you? However, once the show's over, there's still a good 15 or so songs set up to play afterwards, all of them themed around money. And the next song you're about to hear in Chris Herron's Dive Lounge is very much themed about money, and it's what we've been waiting for all day, and maybe longer, in fact, for weeks. We've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
So Will Johnson would perhaps like to explain where he drew the inspiration for £5 a week.
It's pretty much, I was on the brew and got stung with all sorts. It was like council tax debt and all sorts, not getting council tax benefit. Now, these things all started to build up, and then they sanctioned my money because I couldn't make it in one day. The reason I gave was that I had an important gig coming up with my band. We weren't getting paid for it or anything, but it was really important to us to do this, and would it be okay if I just came in like tomorrow instead? And they weren't cool with that. So they sanctioned me for 4 weeks. So 4 weeks of hell with literally about 5 weeks, £5 a week to my name for that time. So it was exceptionally awesome of them to do that.
Well,
and it gave birth to this song. So.
As they say, every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah.
Without those 4 weeks of hell, we would never have this irresistible little ditty and incredible opus entitled £5 a week. Mr. Will Johnson in Chris Herron's Dive Lounge. Take it away.
£5 a week, £5 a week. It ain't too funny when they're stuffing all your money and there ain't no bread and there ain't no honey on £5 a week, £5 a week. Stepping in the shoes full of holes in the rain on a 20-mile journey and you can't afford a train on £5 a week, £5 a week. Moving out the monkey back and pay for the week. I'm treated like a junkie begging money in the street on £5 a week, £5 a week. Fuck the room, what they did to you, the light rising, hazards, answers. Never gonna see it when singing and choose on £5 a week, £5 a week. £5 a week, £5 a week. Well, this sound like a mouth nine. The rain all down to the devil going down on £5 a week, £5 a week. Yeah, they took all of my money that I put me on the food stand for weeks. So my sanctions done on £5 a week, £5 days you will never get a penny, but you get a little more if you tell me you're insane. On £5 a week. Next time I side, someone's getting repeated. The war's closing, fuck this time, leaving on £5 a week. Motherfucker, please. Hey.
£5 a week.
I think my head nearly exploded there.
I'm sure you'll.